Hey guys, Josh the Retro Gamer here. I got another NES accessory to talk to you guys about today. This one I picked up just recently on online on eBay, and I don't really see these too frequently. Usually I see them loose, the controller loose, or I'll see it tied with a system, but I rarely have seen it in a box, like it would have been sold individually for the time when the system came out. So for those of you that don't know, this was a late model NES controller, officially released by Nintendo. It went with the top-loading Nintendo NES system. I just learned of the top loader probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't even know it existed before then because it came out pretty like halfway or a couple years into the Super Nintendo's life cycle, very end of the Nintendo's life cycle, kind of a redesign. Some people say kind of a budget model kind of thing. So anyway, we're gonna open it up real quick. Online, they just had a picture of the box and a controller. I'm assuming that's probably all there is, but we can take a look, see if there's anything else. Yeah, looks like nope. Looks like that's it. Just the box and controller here. And let's take a look. The controller looks like it's in pretty decent shape. It's definitely got a little bit of use on it. A little bit of yellowing, as some of the plastics did of the time. Some of that might be my lighting too, but it looks like there's a little bit of yellowing on it. But this is what it is. This was called the dog bone controller. A lot of people call it that as well. And if you look here, though, this is the piece that really interests me. The box is in really great shape. And I was really excited to find the box because I don't see these alone by themselves like I was saying too frequently. Usually the controller's bundled with the system or the controller's loose, but I don't see it with the individual retail box that it originally had and came with. But you can see here, they talk about different things. They talk about the control pad, start select button, and I have an original controller here so you can kind of see some of the differences. One thing they talked about, which I didn't realize, it says it right here on the front, is a new, larger control pad for better play control. And I didn't really realize it, but it is larger. It looks like it might be a Super Nintendo control pad. Fitted for the NES, like the slope even of them, of the angle of the buttons is a little bit higher. It's just a little bit bigger, which is kind of cool. I didn't realize that. And a lot of people like these because the rounded edges are more comfortable in your hands after long play times rather than having the more boxy square feel. You can see the buttons are both red, but the old one has concave buttons that kind of curve in, or these are more convex, so they curve out. You can see there's gray start and select as opposed to the black start and select buttons. And the control pad is more of a matte black instead of kind of a glossy black like the original Nintendo controller had. They moved the logo to the center like they did with the Super Nintendo. And you've got start and select over top in the old one, but under the bottom here of the newer one. On the back, it's still got their little, little model number there and everything. NES controller. This actually just says NES controller. This says Super Nintendo or Nintendo controller. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I hadn't realized that about the control pad. So that's really kind of neat. It did feel a little bit different, so maybe it's supposed to be a little bit more comfortable after extended use. It will work with any, as it says here, compatible with all NES games, control deck, and accessories. And I always like to check out the year on boxes and stuff like this and see kind of what it says. It looks like we got a copyright date here of 1993. So yeah, definitely very late in Nintendo's life cycle. I think it was there were new games coming out for the NES maybe 94, 95 at the latest. So very late in the system's life cycle. The Super Nintendo had already been out for a couple years. Like, that's pretty interesting. So, but yeah, so there you go. That's kind of the box. That's what it looks like. If you ever see one of these controllers in the box, loose, it's going to be pretty similar to this. I'd like to get a hold of whatever, paperwork or stuff originally came with it, just because I always think that's kind of cool. It probably had like a poster and maybe some instructions of some sort, or maybe that was all they put in there. Maybe they just kind of threw it all together. I mean, who knows? But Anyway, so let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you have one of these controllers, if you like it, if you prefer it over the original. I mean, I really think it's hard to beat the classic. I kind of love the original controller. I still use it a lot, but I do like using these from time to time, and I'll pick them up and play, especially if I know I'm going to be playing for a long time. It is a little bit more comfortable sometimes to play with that one. But yeah, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have this system or this controller, if you prefer it. And as always, keep watching, and then let me know what you think about my other videos. I've got a few other NES series videos, NES accessories, so check those out as well. Thanks, guys.